Hi everyone and welcome to this week's WARNO Dev Blog. Yes, it's okay, April Fool's is over, this one is real. This one is all about introducing the first operation, Black Horse's Last Stand. They say, hello Commander, we hope you're well. Today we have something exciting for you. As you've likely noticed, there wasn't a dev blog last week. Instead, we were busy preparing today's special one with dedicated videos to accompany it. You might recall we teased operations in a previous dev blog, and in today's dev blog we'll be introducing more thoroughly our first upcoming operation, Black Horse's Last Stand. Before they continue, they want to make a small housekeeping note, which is that they will be switching around the days they publish dev blogs for WARNO and Steel Division 2. It is easier from a production point of view, so from now on, barring any unforeseen or oh no, the roof is on fire game development issues, we will be publishing WARNO on Thursday and Steel Division on Friday. Okay, so let's get on with it. What are operations? Operations in WARNO are scripted tactical battles, placing the player in command of a battle group during a hypothetical World War III scenario. These are akin to Steel Division 2's historical battles, which in WARNO's case are clearly ahistorical, but based on a grounded reality and detailed research. There is another major difference. While historical battles could be played from both sides, operations will be playable with only one side and solely versus the AI. With just one side being playable in WARNO's operations, they now have much more freedom, flexibility and creativity to create unique combat scenarios with special conditions. This will make them more intense and realistic. Operations will be delivered in 3 difficulty levels. The first one should be reserved for beginners, the second for WARNO or at least Eugen Systems seasoned players, and the third level provides the ultimate challenge and should only be attempted at one's own risk. Today we're taking a look at the first of those operations. The Black Horse here refers to, of course, the 11th Armoured Cavalry Regiment's coat of arms, giving the formation's nickname the Black Horse Regiment. The 11th ACR is a famous and key outfit in any German-centered World War III scenario, for it would have had the dubious honour of being the first one to engage and likely be destroyed by any invading Soviet forces. Its mission in peacetime was to watch over the inner German border around Fulda, dispersed across several barracks and watch points, including Observation Post Alpha. As an armoured cavalry regiment, it had a special TO&E, mixing Abrams tanks and Bradley CFV scouts with its organic anti-air artillery and helicopter assets. You could call the regiment a miniature division, but with barely any infantry. In the case of the Warsaw Pact offensive, the 11th ACR's mission was to delay the Soviet advance through the Fulda Gap, one of 2 major invasion routes from east to west, long enough for the American and Bundeswehr heavy reinforcements to muster their strength and counterattack. However, nobody was fooled by the potential outcome. This defensive action was considered a sacrificial mission. Let's move on to the briefing. The operation opens on June 22, 1989, the day World War III kicks off. The 11th ACR was hit hard in the depth of the night and fought a ferocious, delaying action half of the day on the border and beyond, ultimately being forced to retreat through the Kinzig River Valley. Near Bad Orb, the remnants of the 1st Squadron needed to hold and defend, being promised air support and some German territorial forces by NATO High Command to establish a critical new line of defense just east of Hanau. They have to make a last stand at the gates to Frankfurt. The operation's goal is to keep control of Bad Orb at all times and to hold long enough for the 5th Corps in Frankfurt to be ready to counterattack. In terms of the order of battle, the 1st Squadron of the 11th ACR, 1-11, the force at the player's disposal at this deployment is down to roughly company size, with 2 mixed Bradley CFV and M1A1 Abrams platoons, 1 anti-air and 1 recon platoon. Infantry is very sparse with only a few engineers and scouts, forming a light screen. This force is the only one available to prevent any pursuing Soviet troops from the 39th Guards Rifle Division breaking through. As you defend, Command will establish a new HQ in Bad Orb. In the meantime, between the deployment and the HQ reaching its new location, you won't be able to call in any reinforcements, so you must choose and place your first units carefully. In terms of deployment, you'll be under strength and overextended. The enemy will come at you with APCs, IFV infantry, supported by some T-80 and the occasional Mi-24 gunship. Deprived of reinforcements in the first phase of the game, you will have to get the best from your deployed units until you are able to call in new reinforcements to fill in the gaps in the front line. Enemy penetration isn't a death sentence as long as you can stop them before they reach your HQ. Therefore, organize a defense in depth and use your forces wisely. In terms of reinforcements, if you hold long enough, 2 mighty A10 will be made available. A sight for sore eyes, the pair of Devil's Cross will soon become your best friend, able to terminate Soviet spearhead incursion on their own, if you can spot the targets on the ground for them, but be wary not to send them too far over the enemy-held territory. The Soviets have brought their own anti-air. Finally, German reinforcements will be at your disposal in the last stage of the battle in the form of a territorial defense company made up of Jaeger Sicherungs and some retreating BGS border guard units, and a few 120mm mortars and some 20mm anti-air guns. Unfit for a counterattack, they are very useful to secure Bad Orb against the Soviet coup de main if your front crumbles at the last stage of the battle. And that's everything for this week, guys. They say see you on the battlefield. I will note they have obviously made this intro video for the mission as well, which I will link down below in the description. It is on their YouTube channel. Otherwise, guys, thanks very much for watching. Sorry, it's a little bit later this week, but I did have another video already planned to go up, and I didn't know this one was going to be a thing until, well, I read the dev blog myself. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all soon.